The day has arrived, y'all. Our patience has paid off. Tonight, the anime adaptation of our beloved best-selling manga in history, which is currently in the middle of the road to the climax of the Onigashima greatness, returns. And I could not be happier. I have missed it so much. To the point to where I was like, I'm not even going to watch the episodes because I'm 2 episodes behind. I was like, I'm not even going to watch the episodes until the next one comes out. Because if I watch these 2 episodes, it's going to make me yearn for it even more. So I was like, no. We're going to wait, we're going to do that triple. And then we're going to be up in like swimwear. And today I simply just want to come on here and show my appreciation for the incredible year that we had last year, the year before that, and the year before that. You know what I mean? Like, during the Wano saga, and for me, for a person who loved the adaptation of Whole Cake as well, we're on a several-year stretch where I've just been having the time of my life watching the One Piece anime. And I just couldn't be more grateful, man. I mean, whenever you have episodes like this, shambles, brother. When you've got peak like this being produced at the shambles at the highest level, and then you have, I'm talking shambles, peak, shambles, peak, shambles, peak, and I could keep going, son. Shambles, 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 and I could go for 100 more days. Because the greatness the One Piece anime has given us has literally been endless. I don't know how they're doing it. Crunchyroll awarded the anime for Best Continuing Series of last year, and I know I'm a biased fan, obviously. I'm a very biased fan. But if there's any year the series deserved it, last year was one of those years. People, I don't know how some of those episodes were produced on a weekly basis. I understand that Toei's turntable is around like 6 to 8 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. That's how long it normally takes to make an episode. Others longer than others, others shorter than others. I guess it all depends, right? But for me, even with that, I don't care how much time they would have taken. To me, episodes like 10:15, 10:28, 10:33, the last 10:49 sequence, or like your 982s, and even before that with like 892, and so many episodes within this arc. It could have taken them a year, and I still would have been mind blown at how some of this stuff was actually possible. Let alone on a weekly basis for a serialized anime that takes its breaks, absolutely, but it's always here. That is the one constant in anime you can always rely on, is that on Sunday, more times than not, a One Piece episode is gonna come out. It's just the way of the world, right? Sometimes I'm at a loss for words. like, I just don't even know what to say, man. Like, the anime has provided us these moments that we've been looking forward to. Stuff like Roof Piece, stuff like Robin versus Black Maria as examples. And it just elevated it to extents where, you feel me? And then they take other scenes that we're like, okay, this is gonna be a solid episode this week, and make them all-timers. I mean, sometimes we'll get a scene during the week where I'm just like, yo, I'm looking over at chat and I'm like, did we just see the same thing? Did the One Piece anime just do it again? And I feel like it was again, and again, and again. Then it continues to give us these long, high-quality episodes. And it's like, it could be the most minuscule of moments, or of course, the biggest of moments. And they just keep on delivering. And to me, that's what makes it so exciting, considering how this year has gone so far. That's what makes it so exciting heading into the stretch. Because what we're about to head into is a very special stretch in this series. that has some material within it that is some of the greatest stuff in the entire series. To me, arguably, it is my favorite stuff in the entire series, right? So getting into that, we obviously have extremely high expectations. But alongside scenes like what I'm talking about is also the little scenes that I've seen them elevate already. So it's like, for me, heading into this year, I was more excited about the creative liberties they would take in all these sequences that I'm looking forward to. And even the stuff that I'm not looking forward to as much as, of course, the bigger stuff. But the One Piece anime has earned my trust to the point to where now I'm just excited to see what they deliver on a weekly basis. Because I know they're going to deliver, I just don't know how they're going to deliver. I don't know if one week I'm going to get like the Yamato and Luffy versus Kaido scene, which is one of the most insane animated sequences that I've ever seen, right? It was just absolute madness. Or I could get like a directorial masterpiece like episode 1028 with the Conqueror's Coding episode that I've watched like a million times, right? So it's like you never know what you're going to get with the One Piece anime in regards to stuff that you're really looking forward to, or stuff that you're moderately looking forward to, or stuff that you didn't even know you were looking forward to. Like, I'll never forget when episode 982 dropped. And I kept bringing it up. Yo, this is it was a decent chapter at best, right? That was an okay chapter in the manga. The anime made it an all-timer. An all-timer. Shout out to Ishitani, right? Shout out to Ishitani. But it's like, the most wonderful thing about the stretch that we're on is, sure, those Ishitani episodes are absolute creme de la creme phenomenal, right? But even right next to Ishitani in that same sphere have been just episodes of mind-boggling quality. Where it's like, for me, I kind of don't even... I'm not going to say I don't care about the staff lists, right? But for me, it's not as like, oh man, look at this week's staff list. We're going to get a banger. We're going to get a banger. To me, it's like expected. Whoever's directing that week, I'm like, well, a banger's coming. You feel me? It's like, I've gotten so used to the bangers coming from multiple different sources. And then whenever we give the opportunity for new directors to come in and show what they're made of, like in episode 1051, it's masterclass. So it's like, we're in such a great time in the One Piece anime to where anyone can go out, get their time to shine, and it could look incredible. Because it just feels like everyone's just having their time of their life working on this series right now. From the very top to the key animators to the individuals working on the story, but whatever it is, it feels like everyone's just having a great time. With the amount of creative liberties that we've seen within this arc, how could they not be having a time of their lives? I mean, there's certain things that I'll see where I'm like, that's a clear reference to what comes in the future. And y'all know what I'm talking about when I'm referring to that, right? Like certain frames where you really have to lock in and see, you're like, oh, here we go. They're more excited for that than we are. You feel me? Like in particular, right? I'm talking about like the 1044 stuff and whatnot, where it's like, I know they are more excited to animate this stuff than I am to watch it. Right? And that's a big statement because that's the thing I'm looking forward to more than anything else. But it's like, man, and it's like when you think about stuff like that, when you think about the potential, the 1042, 1043, 1044, 1045 stretch, 1045 is gonna be special, man. In the anime, 1045, you know, in the manga, that was like the most fun ever, right? The anime could somehow top that. It could, man, it could, right? So it's just when you start thinking about stuff like that, and rather than going in with the mindset, like I said, rather than going with the mindset of, oh, I'm looking forward to seeing who directs this, or I'm looking forward to seeing who is this or who is that. More so, whenever a staff list comes out, I'm like, oh man, I'm looking forward to seeing what such and such is going to do with this episode. Because I've received so much greatness, I'm expecting it from everyone. You feel me? So it's like, even whenever we get down to the stretch of legend I'm talking about, or even like the stuff before that, which is obviously extremely important too, when I see the individuals work on the episode, I'm gonna be like, cool, let's see what they got. Let's see what they got, because bro, my mind has been blown on episodes I was told were going to be average, and I went in with my mind absolutely shattered. Now, granted, my standards are much lower than other individuals, or at the very least, maybe it's my bias for this series that makes it appear to be much lower, because I feel like One Piece could have I said this before for Film Red, One Piece Film Red could have been stick figures talking for 2 hours and 30 minutes. The moment I would have seen Shanks would have been a 10 out of 10. I mean, that's just the way that I roll. That's just the way that I roll. I'm biased. I know that. I accept that part about myself. And it's just the way that it is. All right? And maybe this is all bias. For me, enjoying this section of the story as much as I do. And when I see it given the incredible amount of love and care that I continue to see done week after week, it's like, how could I not be extremely excited for the future, regardless of whatever it's going to bring to us? I mean, if this year alone isn't the biggest indicator that they are going in, son, they are going in. So many high quality episodes for moments that we have all been looking forward to, and Toei has never let us down. Even in its darkest days, when it came to the major moments. Imagine now when the most minuscule of moments are getting peak. Imagine whenever we start getting to like a true peak. And like the biggest indicator, we have 1031, the chapter, being animated soon. And I was being told in my comment section, brother, there's going to be some peak. And I was like, oh, I'll take y'all word for it. Let's go. Let's go, man. And so it's stuff like that where I'm like, man, I can't even imagine how they're going to handle upcoming stuff, you know, and it's going to be special. The rest of this year for the One Piece anime is going to be so much fun to experience. And now that we're back from break, I think the next break is going to come around August, if I'm not mistaken, just based on like the Golden Week breaks that we normally get. So from here until then, I think it's going to be nonstop, maybe a few recaps every now and then, but I feel like it's going to be nonstop, which means if we continue going nonstop and at the pace in which we're going to be, from that 1031 adaptation onward, I don't know how Toei's going to do it. Because that's like 22 straight bare minimum good chapters. Bare minimum good chapters. Some of those are all-time great. Some of those are Hall of Famers. Some of those are peak fiction. And others are the epitome of the universal language. It just keeps getting higher and higher, from good to the greatest of all time. So how we mess with that scale and how Toei is going to be able to balance all that, I'll leave that in their hands. The ball is in their court. I have full belief that they're going to give us greatness. Some weeks, of course, is not going to be as great as other weeks. But if at the very least we can continue to keep this high level of quality that we've maintained throughout this entire arc, we are in for a phenomenal stretch heading in to this part of the year until the end of the year. And it's going to be wild. It's going to be wild. And I can't wait to experience it together alongside all of you, man. So, the One Piece anime, I can just envision so many scenes that I can't wait to see. And just to know that they are going to deliver on those scenes is what makes me happy. I just don't know how they're going to do it. You know, who in all of the Flagnards could have ever anticipated stuff like the Yamato and Luffy versus Kaido thing, right? And that's just from an animation standpoint. There are other times where it's just from, in terms of the way that's being directed, right, that it just blows your mind, right? Like you think about like an episode 1015, which was a masterclass all around, but still it was the masterclass direction that really was pushing that thing forward. Or I think about the stuff like like 1028, for example, with like the soundtrack placement just gets you going, you feel me? So the 1033 with like the change in POV, right, to really hit home the Kaido greatness. It's just, you never know. You never know how it's going to hit. And that's what's made the One Piece anime a weekly experience that has become as much fun as the manga. Whereas the manga, obviously brand new material, I have no idea what's going to be taking place. In the anime, it's like, I know what's going to happen. I just don't know how Toei's going to twist it around to make their own version of what actually took place and utilizing those creative liberties. So however they end up doing it, like I said, the ball's in their court. I'm just here to experience and have fun with what they're about to give me, because by the Flagnar, it's going to be some heat. So I will see y'all next time. Have an awesome day. Thank you so much for watching. And let me know if you are as excited for the return of the One Piece anime later this year. I will see y'all. Take care. Let's go.